Everybody, it's Mason. Welcome to this week's Small Business Spotlight. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. Today I'm here with Adam Blanchard, who is running for Texas House District 122 here in San Antonio in the Hill Country. So Adam, tell me about the race.
Well, it's we're getting down to the end of it, so it's been fun. Been just a great experience and opportunity to step up and serve the community. It was never really my plan to run for office. I've started three companies from the ground up, but just had a lot of people reach out to me and ask me to run, and so that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve the community. So I practiced law for about 4 or 5 years. And then in about 2014, met a good friend of mine through a Bible study. I just started looking for an opportunity to get into business. Knew the trucking industry, and so we were out one night watching baseball, and he kept telling me the things he'd do differently. And I said, "Well, heck, why don't we start a trucking company?" And he goes, "Well, how do we do that?" And I said, "I don't know. Can you get drivers and can you move the trucks?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, I'll handle the rest." And that's what we did.
Nice.
Okay. Growing up, my dad just always told me, he said, "Son, to be successful, you need to be involved in your community and involved in your industry." And he showed me that by example, and that's what I've done. I'm very involved here in San Antonio in our community. I serve on the board of the Downtown Rotary Club. I serve on the executive board of the San Antonio Mobility Coalition, and also on the Youth Football League board where I live up in Smithson Valley area, and also very involved in my industry. Leadership positions with the Texas Trucking Association, American Trucking Association. And last session, being a leader in the industry and always feeling like you need to lead from the front, we had a lawsuit abuse reform bill that we were going to try to advance last session that was really critical to not only our industry, but all businesses in Texas with the current litigation landscape. Helped with the bill drafting, testified in front of the House and Senate. We even got bipartisan support for that bill. Got 6 Democrats here in Bexar County to break ranks with the Democratic caucus and support our bill in the House. And last session, it became evident to me we need more business owners in office, and it's my generation's turn to step up. And so that was my plan, and then started receiving calls from a lot of folks in the community here about running when Lyle Larson was expected not to seek re-election. So House District 122, generally speaking, is the northwestern quarter of Bexar County. So everything from 281 west all the way to Helotes. Southern boundary being 1604, but it drops into Chavano Park, Hollywood Park, and Hill area of our community that has a lot of folks in the business community, right? A lot of executives and business owners, and that's what I'm here to do. I talked to my wife, we prayed about it, and Lord's given me a certain skill set. At the end of the day, we've got to come back together. We've got to start focusing at the legislative level on what makes Texas great, what makes our economy strong, what advances the conservative issues that have made us who we are as Texans. I'm born and raised in Texas, and that's really what I'm here to do is focus on jobs, focus on education, focus on security, and go advocate for those things. We got to keep our taxes low. We got to
talk about property taxes.
Yep, and we talked about. That's huge for this area and this district, and we have. They're reducing our property tax rates at the state level, but our appraised values are going up so substantially that it's overcoming those on our bill. At the end of the day, is higher. So we got to fix our appraisal process now. Our tax collector is elected, but our tax appraiser isn't. And there's some things like that we need to start focusing on. And instead of having these constant increases, let's focus on how we can bring those appraised values down to, provide some relief there.
So, Adam, folks that aren't deep in the political, so the general election is November. Walk us back. What happened? So we're now in February. What are the steps now between now and in November?
So we're right now we're in the primary.
Okay.
And so the early voting started last week. So you've got early voting next week. So through February 25th, there will be early voting. Next week, it'll be from 8 in the morning till 8 at night. And then the primary election itself will be on March 1st. The polling locations will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Election Day. So the primary is where you have people in the same party running against each other.
Got it. Okay.
And so whoever comes out of that, either somebody will get more than 50% win. If not, there'll be a runoff.
Okay.
And then whoever comes out of the primary will end up running against the Democrat. At least in my case, as a Republican, I will be running against the Democrat in the November election.
Got it.
At the end of the day, it's very important for all of us to get out in these primaries. I mean, if you look at this district, 200,000 people, you only have around 17 to 18,000 people to vote in the primaries. Everybody, if we get more people out, the better. I mean, let's have your voice heard, get out there and show support for candidates you support.
Yeah. So I'll put on the locations where you can vote. I know there's a number around San Antonio. And really, you have until this Friday, to do the early voting. And if you can't get that, get out on March 1st for the primary vote.
That's right. Well, thank you for
Best of
having
luck.
me. I appreciate it.